Welcome to another episode of the Javier and Mo Show. I'm Mo Aziza. I'm sitting with the best MMA coach of all time, Javier Mendez. How are you today?
I'm good. I have a headache, but I'm good.
Yeah, you always can battle it. How's it going with your headaches? You've been having them for a while now. Is it bad? Is it getting worse?
Yeah, they're migraine, and basically what I have is I have my L6 and 7 vertebrae out. I seen the MRI; it's out. So
What's that?
my neck,
Okay.
bones out.
You had the bone out.
Yeah, basically bulging disc.
Oh, God.
Bulging disc. So I have that. So every other day or every 4 or 5 days, it hits me, and it's like I never knew what migraine headaches were. Now I know. Wow.
So what's the solution?
Well, you got to work on the rehab on the neck to make it stronger, and and correct posture. And when we do this kind of thing, we put our head down, we put all that pressure on our neck. So I have to learn to do this more. And it sucks because none of us are used to doing this. We're used to doing this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure that puts on your neck. So this is from constant abuse, of looking on your phone, looking down, so yeah, it's old age and that, combination of both.
Old age?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't see it.
Well, you can, if you look at the x-rays and the MRI, you'll see it. You'll see bulging disc, and you'll see, it happens to everybody, it's one of those things where I wish it wouldn't have happened to me, because the headaches are very severe, man. They're horrible.
Yeah.
This culprit right here, it's a big reason.
So they figured it out.
I figured it out.
Okay.
And I'm watching, and I'm going, damn. When you put your neck straight up, there's really not much pressure. But when you start looking down, like tipping over, there's a lot of pressure you're putting on.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like anything. I'm standing straight up, I'm good. But as soon as I do this, all the weight from here is bringing me down more. So it's harder.
Back when you were fighting, what kind of neck exercises were you doing?
I wasn't doing any neck exercises.
Why not?
I just wasn't, just very few people did.
Sorry.
Was not doing any neck exercises. Very few people did. They were there, but it's no big deal.
Is it a personal thing? You didn't see any value in them, or is it, I don't know, like nobody told you?
No. For me, there was no value.
Why not?
I had a big neck, and I never got knocked out. I never got hurt. So, it wasn't a big deal. So,
because I'm trying to think, is it something maybe back in the day when you were doing a wrong neck exercise? Like if you're carrying a lot of weight and you just...
No. Nothing to do with that. No, I didn't do neck exercise.
Okay.
So I probably should have, but I didn't, that had nothing to do with that.
Okay. So do you advise your students to do it, or is it something personal?
It's never been a big thing, for fighters. It's never been a big thing, but it should be something that they should all work on. Yeah. But it's never been a big thing.
Okay.
And not for me. Maybe other coaches are making a big thing, which would be good for them, because they're ahead of me, because I didn't do it.
Yeah. Speaking of big things, Jon Jones retired.
Yeah, he retired, and he played with the media for quite a while and trying to get what he wanted. And, to me, it's kind of like, enough with the charades. It's over. So let's go on with Tom Aspinall fighting the next fight, to defend the title that's rightfully his, because Jon Jones, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but he appeared to be not getting what he wanted. And specifically, I think, is the dates. He'll fight anybody, but he wants when on his time. So I don't think that worked with the UFC's time frame. So I think that they put him in a position where you're either gonna have to fight or you're gonna have to vacate.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying I know what's going on. I don't. All I know, it should be one of those things where fighters should not be allowed to hold up the division, and he held up the division for quite a while. And Tom Aspinall defended the interim title one time. We should have never had to defend it at any time. He should have been able to fight for the title, but because of what Jones was doing, he had to do that. So the right thing happened that was supposed to happen. Jon Jones had an unbelievable career. For me, he could be the greatest, but he isn't, only because of what he did, and I don't consider what he did something of a great fighter. Muhammad Ali to me is the greatest in boxing because of what he did outside of the boxing, not just in what he did outside. And Jones, if you measure it on what he did in the Octagon, yeah, I'd have to say he's the greatest of all time, but I don't measure him by that. I measure him by everything on his, failed drug tests and everything else he did. So for me, he's not the greatest. But if you're going to say specific, like Octagon only fighting, then I'm going to say yes.
Okay. I was always that guy. I was always that Jon Jones guy. But after he avoided Tom Aspinall, I cannot respect him the same.
No, you cannot respect him the same, but then look at what he's done. I mean, he's one of the very few people that has retired on top. How many people, can you tell me right now, how many champions retired on top?
Great, retire on top.
No, but how many? Tell me.
Okay, for example, when Khabib retired, he retired there and then, and he never went back on his word.
There's one.
Yeah.
Okay, how many more others have retired on top as champions?
GSP.
Okay, 2.
Well, I would say Triple C, but he came back. Who else? Who do you have?
Jon Jones.
But forget Jon Jones.
No, I'm just telling you, he's a very, very select few people that have been able to do it. So,
but he didn't retire on the spot. You know what I mean? He took him a couple of years to.
Doesn't matter. He retired on top. He's the one of the few people that have done that. I mean, most people don't. They lose, and then they'd retire or they move on to another organization. He is the only one that has retired on top. So,
but he's not the only one.
3. He's one of 3.
Mighty Mouse.
No. Mighty Mouse lost the title to Henry Cejudo, and then he left. So no.
But he retired and won. I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But
he was a champion and won.
UFC.
Okay. Who else? I mean, I would have to think about it, but I don't.
There is nobody else. There's those 3 only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those 3 only. But again, look, the guy had more problems outside than any MMA fighter I know than he did inside. The only other guy that, can you think of any other fighter that had a lot of problems outside? I mean, Stefan Bonner had some issues. Mayhem Miller had issues. How many other fighters had issues outside? But the worst one out of all of them, I think, was Jon Jones.
I mean, over the pregnant woman, the whole story.
Yeah.
You cannot forgive him for that.
Well, now there's another situation that happened where another hit and run, I guess, or abandoned the car or something.
Yeah, that one with the pregnant woman.
No.
Another one?
A new one, brand new one. This is a new one, brand new. It just happened.
I didn't know much about it. I think they were saying there's some legal case going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's a misdemeanor though. It's not a felony. So.
Okay.
So he left and supposedly
and allegedly beating up his wife a couple of years ago. Or something.
Yeah. And that led him to being gone from the Winkle John, Greg Jackson gym.
Yeah.
So that's a separation there. But other than that, I mean, his performance, what he's done is unbelievable. The first time I saw him in person was in UFC 100.
Okay.
And he was working out with everybody. And, he was so impressive. I was like, man, this guy's an unbelievable athlete. So, and I get when people say this guy is the best, blah, 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 because I personally seen it myself. And he's so gifted. Like I've never seen anybody as gifted as him in all my career also. I haven't. He's very gifted.
Man, the guy is special. He's really special. But how he avoids certain fights and how he ducks, like the Chael Sonnen story. Yeah, we could say his coach advised him. But we all know if the fighter wants to do it, he will do it.
It's him. He doesn't duck anybody. He's not ducking.
He ducked Tom Aspinall. There's no way. There's no way.
He's not ducking. He just wants it his way, not ducking.
What was his way?
He wants to fight when he wants to fight.
Great.
But the thing is, not great. You're the organization. You're going to make him fight when you have the opening. They're not going to.
So why he didn't say that,
but
coach?
Listen,
but he didn't say anything about.
He's not going to say that. But
why he cares about the UFC so much?
He doesn't care about
the guy beats up his wife. He cares about.
He doesn't.
Dana White.
The UFC. The UFC doesn't care about him. Maybe Dana White does, but the UFC does not.
I know, but I'm trying to think if it was about money or timing, he would have went out and he said, guys, I want to fight Tom Aspinall in 2026, April. But the UFC doesn't want that, so there's nothing I can do about it. I'm out. He didn't say that. He just said,
why would he say that?
Why not? Because he shows...
That's stupid. If I went on...
Because he shows fear.
If I tell you I want to fight so-and-so a year from now, it's like, come on, dude. You're not the champion. You fight now. You fight. You're supposed to fight at least 2 times a year.
So fight now then.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is he didn't. So he didn't do that. And I'm not going to tell you he's ducking people. I will never believe that. This guy's not afraid of anybody.
But why wouldn't you duck Tom Aspinall?
He's not ducking him. You keep saying ducking. He's not ducking him. He is not. He's not ducking him. It's just he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight. The circumstances were presented to him. And that's it. And let's face it, he's been around 15 plus years, you know. The guy hasn't lost in 15 plus years. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. How many title defenses has he had compared to other champions? He probably has the most out of anybody.
Yes, he does.
So the guy's been doing it, done it all. So it's not like, oh, well, what does he got to prove? He doesn't have to prove anything. He just needed to be done the way he wanted it to be done. And they didn't see eye to eye. So rather than him continuing on this charade where he's ducking Pearson, this and that, he wasn't ducking the guy. He just said, screw you guys. I don't need this. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He's accomplished enough. His legacy is his legacy. He's going to go down in most people's eyes as the greatest. Not mine, but in most people's eyes, he will go down as the greatest.
Definitely, I see what you're saying, but also if you think about it from another perspective, it took him some time to move from light heavyweight to heavyweight. And once he did that, he fought an easy fight for him. Everybody knew Ciryl Gane is not going to be a problem for Jon Jones. Ciryl Gane's wrestling and his defense is not good. We all knew that Jon Jones is going to have a party there. And he did. And after that, he went and fought a retired Stipe Miocic. And then he's like, I'm out. No, you avoided the number 1 contender. This is where you prove yourself. I'm an actual heavyweight. When I fight an actual heavyweight, the number 1 contender, no, I'm good. I don't want to fight him. I don't have anything to prove. No, you do.
Well,
you do have something to prove. Otherwise, you wasted everybody's time.
Are you telling me that Ciryl Gane wasn't the number 1 contender at that time he fought him? They weren't the 1-2? Or
but we knew it was an easy fight for him.
But you said fight the number 1 contender. It's like how many people does he have to continue to fight? I mean, the bottom line is the guy is considered the GOAT by many, and he's earned it. So to me, you needed to fight this. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to do anything. He had to prove anything to you or me or anybody. He did his part, and he's regarded as the greatest by most. So what more do you want from him? He did what he needed to do. And so although I don't agree with the way he's done it his way. I don't agree the way he acts outside and what he's done it. But hey, he's not in jail. So what are you going to say? Seriously. I mean, he's not in jail. So if he was that bad of a person, why isn't he in jail? He's not in jail. It's not like it's a secret what he's done. What do you got to say?
There's something called good lawyers.
That's true too. I mean, that I can't deny that. If you have a bad lawyer, you could go, but I don't see him. Yeah, he's got good lawyers. I'll give you that.
Moving on to this weekend's special event, Topuria and Charles Oliveira. I heard you in an interview on Submission Radio saying that you love Charles Oliveira and you want to see him win. But do you actually see him winning this fight?
I can see him winning. Yes, absolutely. Especially up the middle where he can use his height and his knees and his range. If you watch one of Topuria's earlier fights where he's dipping a lot, I can see Charles Oliveira's catching him with the knee right up the middle. And I can see the front kick going up the middle because he has a traditional boxing stance. The way he comes in, and one good way to beat a good boxer is Muay Thai. Good Muay Thai stance can get a good boxer if you have good Muay Thai. And Charles's Muay Thai is not great, but it's good. So he has a chance. And on the ground, he has a chance also. So you can't.
He has a chance, but do you see him winning? Like, would you pick him?
No,
Okay.
No,
That's a whole different story.
I want him to win, but I give the edge to Topuria.
Why?
Because he's sharp boxing. He's on a roll. He's mentally, physically, fit, and he doesn't believe he could lose. And then guys like that are 16-0, they've beaten the people he's beaten. Man, it's gonna be tough to beat him. And it can happen. It can happen. It's not going to be a one of those what do you call Cinderella stories, right? Because Charles could beat him. He could beat him. So he won't be the favorite, but that doesn't mean anything in some cases. Look at how many people have won when they weren't supposed to win. And what was the one that was the biggest, the underdog when there was, I can't remember, but
there's quite a few recently.
No, but there was one that was a big one. What was Strickland against?
Yeah, Israel Adesanya, right?
Yeah, what was that? What odds on that one?
5-1. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. That was ridiculous, right? And then look what happened.
Yeah,
never seen that happen. So it happens.
Yeah,
it happens. So my opinion, your opinion, it's good, but it could end up being the total opposite of what we say.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have Beneil as the backup fighter because he's fighting Moicano anyway on that card.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll give him a chance this time because this guy is on the end of his career.
Well, Beneil, he's had his opportunities and he's come up short, and it's not over for him. And he's more than capable. And this time, if something happens to one of those guys, it more likely will be Beneil, because last time it wasn't Beneil.
Yeah,
it was Moicano. Because Beneil was not exactly on a winning track, right? But now you can't put Moicano ahead of Beneil, because if something happened, people are gonna cry big time.
Yeah,
you're gonna cry big time because it should be Beneil. So I'm assuming Beneil will get the opportunity if something happens, but I don't foresee anything happening. But it could. It happened before.
Would Beneil create any threat to either Charles or Topuria, or no?
I think Beneil doesn't pose much of a threat to Topuria, but I think for Charles he does.
Where?
On the ground. He's good on the ground. Charles is good on the ground, but I think that's where Beneil has a chance. The stand-up is not great. It's good. He's good everywhere, but his ground is better than everything.
Yeah.
He's got a good ground. And, the guy's a warrior, and Beneil will come to fight, and you're really going to have to put your stuff together to beat him. He's not an easy out. It's very difficult to beat. So, let's see.
Pantoja and Kai Kara-France.
Pantoja is the more well-rounded guy. France has got the power, so you can't count France out. He could basically take him out. It's possible. I seriously doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. It'll be an exciting fight, though. I think the fans are going to win in that one. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, definitely, it's a good one. And what do you think of back to Topuria when he said that he doesn't think Islam is ducking him? Islam just couldn't make the weight. He doesn't want to make the weight anymore. It's getting tough on him. Do you think it was a weight issue?
No, 100% wrong. It's not a weight issue. It's a legacy issue. He didn't want to fight Topuria because the image of him fighting another featherweight, what was it in it for him? Okay, everything for Topuria, nothing for Islam. But now that the welterweight title was open, that's why he wanted to wait for that fight to happen between Jack and Beneil. And he said if Beneil didn't win and they offered him that title, then they'd take that title. So it's good for the UFC. They both win on that one.
Yeah,
they both win. So the UFC won. Islam gets what he wanted, a legacy fight, and then we'll see what happens from there. Let's see what happens if they both win. But we can't.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
that any of them are going to win. They both have tough fights. You're not going to tell me Topuria is going to win that fight for sure, and you cannot tell me Islam's going to win his fight against Jack for sure. That's a very tough fight.
I can say Islam's going to win.
No, I'm
you don't have to say
I'm expecting to win. I'm going to do everything we can to win, and I'm going to go in with that attitude. But I've been there before, and shit happens. Look what happened with Umar. I felt we were going to beat Merab. I felt we went in there, we had the best chance of beating him, and I went in there with that attitude, and look what happened. It didn't come out our way, and that happens in the fight world,
Yeah,
not every happens.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm just saying, he broke his hand. Okay, it doesn't matter. Something else could have happened too. He could have got hit and got knocked out. Who knows? I'm just saying you can't count it 100% in your favor. That's all.
Right.
That's all I'm saying is you can't count on it. You know, you can work towards it. You can be positive about it like I always am. But I always realize that there's always things that we can't control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Did you see the fight that happened this last weekend? It was the third fight out from the main event, right before Fiziev fight.
no.
Oh my God, what a great fight!
Yeah?
Yeah, it was.
Did you watch the whole card?
No,
Just that fight?
No, I watched more, but that card really stuck out. So good, man. That was an unbelievable fight from the guy from Azerbaijan.
Okay.
Azerbaijan, yeah, he was very, very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's with Merab team, I believe. You know.
Okay, okay. Is it Georgian as well?
Yeah, no, Azerbaijan.
Okay. Trying to find him.
He's badass. He was a lightweight.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can find him in there. I don't think
No.
he's ranked in the top 10 yet. But
Okay.
the guy should be very soon get up there. He was very impressive. I forgot his damn name. I thought you'd know him, but
Yeah. No,
never seen the
I
fight.
missed that fight.
I never seen the fight. But that guy, so
Yeah.
impressive. I'm shocked that I don't remember the names.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's going to be a great weekend next weekend, and we're going to have a show after that to break down whoever won.
Yeah, let's see.
It's gonna be
Let's
a
see what
fun one.
happens. Yeah, it should be a fun one. Yeah. Today's not so fun. My headache is killing me. So
No, I know
and
it's like I hope you get better
Not
soon.
the same. It's like these damn headaches are crazy.
No, I genuinely hope you recover soon. Massages or something.
It'll go away. It just takes a while. Then it comes back 3, 4, 5 days later or something like that. I just got to keep working those neck exercises to make my neck stronger, but it'll work. You know,
Yeah.
this life, right? We have obstacles, and we just got to overcome obstacles. That's what life's about. You can't just wait for something to clear. You got to make it clear. You got to work on it. You know, otherwise it doesn't happen.
And you're willing to go through pain. Like you could have called me earlier and said, let's not do the podcast, but you didn't.
No, because if I didn't do it today, we might not do it till next week. So
Yeah.
no, it's better to do it today.
Good stuff, coach. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, guys. Please make sure you subscribe, and hopefully on Monday, we'll have the next episode, and we're gonna break down the fights. See you next time.